I love that some people are catching on to this situation with the Democrat cities and mentioning it. They're talking about it now, that there are, I don't know, a couple of problems in Democrat-run cities.
Has that been proven?
Yes, sadly it has.
Are there facts to back up your wild claims?
Yes, unfortunately for Democrats, there are.
Huh.
You know, like, I don't know, the most violent cities, crime-wise, are the top 50. I'm just talking about the top 50. All Democrat, but one. 49 of the top 50 most violent, crime-ridden, riddled cities are run by Democrats, and usually, in most cases, have been for decades.
I like how you spin that. You made it seem like there was 50.
Made it seem like, yeah.
The headline makes it seem like there's 50.
Yeah, it does. It seems like there's 50, and that 49 of them are Democrat-run. And number one, of course, Detroit. Number two, Memphis. Then you got Birmingham, Alabama, Baltimore, Flint, St. Louis, Wilmington, Delaware, Camden, New Jersey, Pine Bluff, Arkansas. All run by Democrats. All mayor Democrats. Democratic mayors. San Bernardino, Kansas City, Missouri, San Bernardino, California, Alexandria, Louisiana, Little Rock, Cleveland, Milwaukee, Stockton, Monroe, Chester. You just keep going on and on. Wow. Every single one of them Democrat until you get. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe it's only because
my gosh.
The 44th. Oh my God. The 44th is a Republican, as is the 45th. And the 47th. I'm sorry. Only 47 of the top 50. I lied. I lied. Right, it's just 47 of the top 50 cities that are run by Democrats. Are you pissed?
I am so pissed right now.
There are 3 Republican mayors in the top 50, and they're all in the 40s. 44, 45, and 47. All right. Tulsa, Oklahoma, Beaumont, Texas. Well, that surprises me. I didn't realize Beaumont had a violent crime problem. And Desert Hot Springs, California, have Republican mayors. Otherwise, the other 47 are Democrats.
You wouldn't think Desert Hot Springs, California.
Wouldn't think there was a really big.
I would give you Beaumont before Desert Hot Springs.
Yeah, I would too. Desert Hot Springs has a whopping population of 28,878.
Wow.
And you got a violent crime problem there? Yeah. 10.7 out of 1,000 are subjected to violent crimes. Wow. Huh. Okay, so what about poverty, though? Because that's where Republicans come in, because they don't care about the little guy, right?
Okay.
So the poverty is just going to be totally controlled by Republicans who are just caring about their rich, cronies right. in big companies.
Campaign contributors.
Right? So let's see. The poverty rate, and number one, okay, that happens to be a Democrat. Detroit, Michigan. Now, Cleveland also, number 2, is Democrat. So is Buffalo at number 3. And number 4, 5, 6. But when you get to number 7, Fresno, California, that's a Republican mayor.
See?
Yeah. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of the top 50 for poverty rates in America. It's only 41 Democratic cities. I mean, don't come to me and tell me that the Democrats aren't doing a good job. They only have 41 of the top 50 poverty-stricken cities.
Thank you.
It's only 41. Come on.
Thank you. Everyone tries to spin this around.
Yeah, don't try to spin us. We've got the facts right here in front of our fat faces.
I hate bogging people down with facts. But.
Yeah, I do too. It's but 41 of the top 50 cities for poverty are Democrat controlled.
I mean, that's...
And it goes on to say that, many of them for like 60 years, 70 years right. in some cases.
Yeah, many of those cities are at least 50 years.
Yes.
Of Democratic-run hellholes.
Yes. Usually it's at least 40, but it goes up to 70.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Really bad.
Chicago's been controlled by Democrats for, maybe it's even more than 70 years. Let me just see if I can find that, because I was blown away by the statistic. Was it 89 years? I think it was 89. Yeah, okay, it is.
Wow.
It is. It's been controlled because you got the Daley family that were there decades. So 89 years of Democrat control in Chicago. And look what they have to show for it. This is interesting. St. Louis has been controlled by Democrats continuously for 71 years. 58 in Detroit, 53 in Baltimore, 29 in Kansas City. Wilmington, 47 years. 30 years in Cleveland, 38 in Harrisburg. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, for 38 years of Democrat rule. Houston, 38 years. And people look at Houston like it's a Republican stronghold.
Yeah.
And the suburbs are. But the inner city, nope.
Oh, that's the same as Dallas, right? I mean,
Same as Dallas.
Yeah.
Minneapolis, 42 years. I mentioned Chicago, 89 years. And 60 years for Milwaukee. I mean, that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. And at least, there's a few people who are mentioning that now, who are calling them out on it now and putting them on the spot and say, well, you're the ones in control of these cities.
Yeah.
Why aren't you doing anything?
And after all this time, you see the evidence of what a good job they've done.
Yeah, right.
That evidence to me, I mean, they are hellholes, right? And,
yes.
I mean, and people have just left that are able, that can, and so there's just the domino effect increases.
And why would you stay? Why would you stay in a city like that that's poverty-stricken and that is violent crime-riddled, and they want to tax you more? They want to take more of your money and make you even more poverty-stricken.
Yeah.
It's interesting. There's a big push for a wealth tax in this country right now, and so this article looks into the wealth tax. I think this was a Zero Hedge article. And they talk about how over the last 2 decades, how Western economies have been increasingly driven by debt. Now, how do you fix the problem? Well, we borrowed even more money.
Oh.
Since then, the Western nations have doubled the national debt levels. The COVID crisis makes it even worse, of course. And so a wealth tax now is a recurring hot topic in the crisis. But in Europe, they've already done. I just dropped my ring. Listen to how heavy that thing is. I mean, that's a significant piece of weight. Right
That's some weight.
That's some weight right there. But I got powerful fingers that can hold it up. Anyway, how would a wealth tax work out? How are wealth taxes working out in other countries is sort of the theme of this article from Zero Hedge. Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders have already suggested a new wealth tax on wealthy Americans. California is suggesting another wealth tax. They want to do that, even though, again, I think we mentioned earlier in the show, they've got a 13.3% income tax now on your state income tax. Now, in Texas, our rate is 0% on income tax. Now, we make up for it. They make up
yes,
for
they
it
do.
in property tax.
Yes, they do.
There's no question about that.
Other fees.
And other fees. So they're going to get you either coming or going, and they always do. But how does a wealth tax work out in, say, some of these other countries? You know, Norway really sticks people who are supposedly wealthy. And their system starts, you get a wealth tax if you're only making $164,000 a year. $164,000 and up are subject to a wealth tax. Now, apparently no exact numbers are presented, but many wealthy Norwegians have fled the country. And who could blame them?
So, and 160, it's funny you say only 164,000. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a good wage.
I mean, it's a good wage, but it's not, not wildly rich at 164,000.
No way.
Depending on where you live. I mean, if you're in New York, that's almost a poverty line. I mean, I don't know how people in Manhattan survive, because if you're making a normal wage, 30 or 40,000, I don't know where you're living, except on the street, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's so expensive in New York and San Francisco and Los Angeles. You have to make a lot more than $164,000 to live a decent life there. But small business owners are really hit hard with these because it's not just based on income. It's everything you have. It's your property. It's it's the goods. It's the merchandise you have. It's all the stuff, your furniture, all of that, your assets, your stock portfolio, all of that stuff figures into it. And Norway had a tax ceiling preventing anyone from paying more tax. Get this. So their ceiling, the most they can charge you, the most they can take of your income is 80%.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Why are you saying that?
No, it's really good. So you can keep 20%. We're letting you keep
that's
20% of your income.
The most they're going to take is 80%.
I might only take 75%.
Right.
I might only take 75%. And that leaves you with 25% of what you earned. What do you want?
Thank you.
You want all of it? Selfish bastard. However, get this. The ceiling was removed in 2009.
Oh, good. Good.
So there is no limit now.
Right. What's good about these countries and states, though, is we talked about how how say Texas has 0, but they get it in other fees. If they start to do their wealth tax, those fees usually all go away, don't they?
Yeah, no, they don't.
No?
None of them go away. No, they keep those.
Weird.
And you pay the wealth tax.
Weird how that happens.
For instance, in Norway today, this sounds hard to believe, but according to Zero Hedge, it is true. Today, some taxpayers pay more tax than they have income. Oh. Okay.
Wait, how is that?
Well, then... So that forces some of the most productive citizens in the country to leave the country so that they can have some of their money left over to, I don't know, live.
No kidding.
Norway's also passed laws attempting to prevent people from leaving the country. They're going to come after you for 5 years. That is,
California's trying to do that now, right?
This is the tax version of...
California is not a country, but California is trying to do that now.
Yeah. That's, in fact, didn't they say 10?
Yeah.
That might have even been a 10-year horizon where we can still tax you even after you leave the state for 10 years. It's like Hotel California. You could check out, but you can never leave.
And we heard from people that were in California that they made it very difficult for you to leave, right? They hey, we let you leave.
Yeah,
but
check out anytime you like.
You can't sell your property unless it's up to our standards. And if it never reaches our standards, then you can't sell your property.
That's unbelievable. And so that's what happens when you start with the wealth tax thing. You start down a really bad road. And if you want to lose all the wealthy people who, you want to lose Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates, you think they're going to stand for that? For you taking billions of their dollars away from them? They're not. They'll leave. They'll go somewhere else. They can live anywhere they want. They don't have to live here. I mean, even the most liberal among them are not going to stand for that. And France found that out, too, when they did the 75% tax. They did a 75% income tax just a few years ago.
Yeah, it wasn't very long
And
ago.
it went so badly, so many people left and moved to Russia because they have a 15% flat tax. So they left and went to Russia. In fact, I think it's less than that now. But they went to Russia instead. And so 2 years after they instituted the 75% tax, they stopped the 75% tax. I think they lowered it to 50 again, but even that's ridiculous. Unbelievable.
It's not 75.
Right. It's not. Yeah. It's like the Barack Obama thing when the unemployment rate was almost 10%. Well, at least it's not 14 or 15, 16%. We're only taxing you 75. At least it's not 80 or 85 or 100.